don't need a fork. Could you have hot sauce? Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're half Mexican and half Pakistani? Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So your mom is... and your dad... How did that happen?
Whoa.
How did that happen?
Yeah. Whoops. So tell us about those kids.
So tell us about yourself. How are you half Pakistani and half Mexican?
Yeah, so my father is from Pakistan. He's from Lahore, Pakistan. And my mother is Mexican American. She's from Laredo, Texas. It's on the border of Texas and Mexico. And my father came to the States. My mother went to Dallas to go to school. So they were both in Dallas, Texas. And they met. And they got married. They had a family. So I do have 2 siblings. And so how it actually happened, of course, the skit doesn't accurately reflect what happened. But the reason why I made that skit, if you can use your imagination, you might know what I meant with my actions, how it happened, biology, if you will. And the reason why I was motivated to do that was because I've gotten the question so frequently, how did that happen, that it almost is like, oh, why do y'all keep asking me this? A, and B, do y'all not know how babies are made? So it's almost like offensive in a sense, because it's just like, do y'all see me as a person or as a walking like weirdo, alien? I don't know.
It's a horrible question.
Yeah,
right? How did that happen?
terrible.
Like, it shouldn't have happened. Like, it was an accident. Or
I
like,
really want to know how the wedding was, because they're both very strong cultures and have
It must
their
have been
like
beautiful.
ways in
It
weddings.
must have been-
And huge. I bet there was I mean, I know you weren't there when it happened, but I'm just saying, to be able to be there to see like the wedding, but just growing up, like how was it in family gatherings?
Everyday life.
Yeah,
right?
when you would be celebrating holidays and stuff and mixing the two.
Yeah. Well, I have a large extended family on either side of my family. I have a lot of cousins, and there were a lot of questions that would come up from my cousins because they don't know, So when we would have family gatherings on my mom's side, they're based around Catholic religion, so like Easter, Christmas, and on my dad's side it's Islamic, so it's Eid and Ramadan and everything. But my family's not super religious or anything, so that's cool, but it's always been like, okay, which one am I doing? I guess I'm doing both. And then, okay, I'm here, yay. And during Eid, they give you money, like all your uncles, and they just give you all this money and you're like showered with money. And then Christmas, you give gifts and everything. So it can become kind of like a collision because it's contrasting faiths. And people feel like you should pick. And that was always really difficult for me because I identified with everything. I love my family and I didn't see wrong from either of them, so I saw beauty in both cultures. So I've embraced everything, to be honest.
Yeah. And do you have like any bicultural people that inspire you growing up? Because
yeah.
Course, yeah.
Well, Salma Hayek. Yeah, she's a big one because she's half Lebanese and half Mexican, and she's from Mexico, and she speaks Spanish, and she's been in so many movies, as you know.
Yeah.
And she definitely inspired me because I saw her as somebody who looked like me. And Shakira, of course.
Who is not inspired?
Be inspired by her.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess I was fortunate to see women, women that were also Latina, and those women are half Arab and I'm half Pakistani, so it's not the exact same, but it's similar as far as regional goes. Same areas,
and they're very well known, so you don't see many actresses from that area at all in mainstream television.
right? Not in Hollywood.
Do you feel like there's enough representation in film for
No,
bicultural
I
people?
don't. I think that they kind of tend to stick artists into one genre or one category. So even though those women are bicultural, I think that they've been pushed to the Latin side, which isn't a bad thing, but it also is like, well, what about everything else that they come from? What about everything else they represent? It's, you know, it's kind of unfair.
It is. I mean, and as an actress yourself, an actress and entertainer, did you face any challenges because of this?
Oh, yeah. So sometimes I'm independent freelance, so sometimes I don't get casted for like Hispanic roles because I look Pakistani, and I mean I am, but you know. So sometimes I want to take on a Hispanic role, but I don't get granted the role because of the way that I guess maybe I look. And with South Asian, which is Pakistani, sometimes I'm asked questions that feel as though they're trying to outcast me, ostracize me, and emphasize the fact that my first name is Rebecca, and why is it Rebecca? And it just becomes kind of like an interrogation session. So a lot of the film that I have been able to partake in is Black film. I've gotten a lot of opportunity in that sect, so I've been fortunate in that aspect, but it's unfortunate that my people can sometimes tend to outcast me because they can see that there's something different about me.
And that's the problem that you face a lot of the time when you're bicultural. It's like you're not enough of one, you're not enough of the other. So
Literally.
it's like you have to kind of like, they want you to pick and choose
Yeah.
who you are and what you are. And it's like, why can't I be both? You know, why can't we rock both sides? Like, I think we could rock both sides and bring light to both sides.
And there's a lot of I mean, we always talk about the downsides and what you have to suffer from being bicultural, but there's so many benefits to it as well. I personally think it's so, I love the fact when like 2, 3, 4, throw them all in there, all different cultures. I think it's so beautiful because it opens your mind to so many different things.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, you know, especially for you, you have 2 different cultures. So just imagine having to have, you know, open your mind, even if it's by force, you know, to think different ways. Because
I've had to.
Because, you know, as you've grown up in different cultures, right?
I've had to, because on top of it all, you know, I'm here in the States, right? Raised here in the States. And when
That's
I was
another culture thrown in there.
and I mean, I was born here in Houston, so I'm just like, yo, what are you talking about?
Y'all, exactly.
And they're like, no, you look foreign. Like, well, I was born here. What?
Lovely.
And then 9/11 happened, and I was in 5th grade. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh, you were a part of that.
Oh, come on.
Whoa. I mean, it's a lot. It's heavy. It's heavy. You know, but you know what the funny thing is? When somebody is unsure of what racial derogatory term to call you, and then you're like, actually,
get it right.
Yeah,
So do you feel that you have some advantages that bicultural
I do. I have in instances where
amazing hair.
Yes,
Come on, like, I need to say it. I need to say it.
Oh,
amazing.
Thank you. Well, I was gonna say in instances where people are speaking in Spanish about me or think that I don't know, and I'm like, you're really doing this, and just going on and interesting. Until like 5 minutes in, while they're having their conversation in front of my face in Spanish, I can finally chime in and answer in Spanish.
Oh, I would love to be there. I would love to be
And
there.
they try to act brave. They try to play it off and act like, oh, yeah.
Their face drops, and it's like, oh, snap, I didn't know.
It's terrible.
I don't speak much Spanish, but I understand more than I can
But you know what's going on.
So you know what they're saying. Like, all right.
I know what y'all are doing. Okay. Cute. Real cute.
I see your true
colors. Yeah, but it's also like, okay, you're too scared to say it in English.
Yeah.
Says more.
So let me read you real quick in Spanish. Let me tear you down your own language real quick.
Yeah,
I got
literally.
you. Yes.
So, I mean, Rebecca, you're an example, because our question of the day was, what was our question of the day? About how being bicultural can
affect you in the
workplace. But you're an example that it doesn't matter. It's not about being bicultural that's going to hold you back in the workplace. That's what I see when I look at you. I see someone who
embraces,
who embraces her cultures, all of them, and uses it to her advantage.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't care what other people think. That's their business. They're not putting money in your pocket. But it's a confidence that you have. Instead of being bicultural taking from you, it's building you up, it's giving you the confidence, and you're going ahead and you're doing what you need to be doing. And I think that's a beautiful example for everyone out there, because we live in there's so many cultures here, so many people are made, and by others, but even within themselves, they feel so little, they don't go out and reach for the stars because of their culture. But you're a nice example to everyone watching that. Go ahead, do it. If it's in you, if it's something that you want, do it.
And you're not rock, and they can rock both. Like,
don't be afraid to. You're allowed to.
One or the other, or just try to convert and be like, okay, I'm gonna be what they want me to be in order to get roles, in order to get jobs. But you're willing to rock both sides and be like, this is who I am, and I'm gonna represent both sides, because there's a little girl that's gonna grow up who's gonna be looking at your films, looking at your social media, and be like, well, if she could do it, then I can do it. Just like you have those people you look up to that's kind of pushed you forward. You know?
Definitely. Yeah, so thank you for highlighting that.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
really awesome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining us today. Yeah, it was really, really great to have you.
We look forward to following your career and having you back another time.
Yeah, so whenever you do a film next, you're going to have to come on, or a play or anything, you're going to have to come on.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Put it out there.
I'm here. I'm here. It's set in stone.
And you heard it first. She was on Women in Real Time. So when she makes it big, this is her star right here. Remember that face? She was here first, guys.
Go check out her Instagram handle. It's there on your screen. You are gonna love it.
Yes.
Check it out. She is doing so much work, and you're gonna be hearing a lot about her if you haven't already.